Hi, Paul Higgins here. What we're going to look at in this tutorial is adding marine depths to a satellite chart. So the purpose is to add depths to a SAS Planet satellite map. Now, satellite maps don't usually have any depth soundings. So what we're going to do is get the depth soundings from a marine map, like Navionics or CMAP. And we're going to use a function of Google Earth called the overlay function. And we're going to first put the satellite map on, and then we're going to put the marine map on, and then we're going to do some magic and remove the depths from the marine map and put them on the satellite map. So I'm going to show you how to set up Google Earth and how to set up SatChart. Okay, let's look at how you set up Google Earth. I'm going to go to Google Earth. Here it is. Now, the first thing you want to look at here is the view. You don't want the toolbar on here. You can leave the status bar on. The navigation, which are these controls over here, we want to turn them off or they're going to be in the resulting chart. And also, we want to look at the sidebar here. Down here, there's a bunch of things that you may want to turn off or on. For instance, the borders and labels, you might want to turn them off. They might turn up in the resulting chart, and they may not look too good. Same with the places and the roads. You may turn them off. And the next thing we want to look at is the tools and the options. And first, the general option here. You have to set the language to English. The reason for this is SatChart sends commands to Google Earth and SAS Planet, and it does it with hotkeys. And unfortunately, the hotkeys in the English version of Google Earth are not the same as the hotkeys in other versions like German or Italian. So set this to English. The next thing is navigation. You want to set do not automatically tilt while zooming. The 3D view here, you can use just about anything. I recommend you use decimal degrees and meters and kilometers for the measurement. And the elevation exaggeration should be set to 0.01. It normally is 1.0. And that's about it. Close that. And turn off the sidebar here. And that's all for setting up Google Earth. Okay, there's some things you have to set up on SatChart. So let's go to SatChart. You're going to create the chart from SAS Planet. It must be a MB tiles. The depth units are going to be the same as the marine chart that we're going to select in a minute. And it happens to be Navionics, so we'll set that to meters. Then we go to the SAS Planet options here. We have to have invoke SAS Planet download. Splits don't matter. And we also have to select multi-map support. And we also have to turn on this add marine depths to the chart. And that's it for the SAS Planet options. We go back to the main tab and notice over here in the secondary window a bunch of controls up here. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Okay, let's look at those controls that just appeared there on SatChart over here. First off, the overlay will be SAS Planet. We're going to make the land transparent and the water transparent. Just check both of those. Bypass Google Earth Edit. I'll talk about that in a minute. The threshold, this is how much SatChart recognizes land. Set it to 20%. And then we're going to add we're going to decide which depth soundings we want. We can select the CMAP or the Navionics Marine or the Navionics sonar, and I selected the Navionics Marine. And then there's a crop amount. If you go back to Google Earth here, there's a bunch of stuff at the bottom here that you may want to get rid of. You might want to crop it out. So if you set the crop amount, it will crop that much from the bottom of Google Earth. And I found 110 works pretty good. And depth contour lines, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so it's all set up now as far as the controls. Okay, let's create the chart. Back to SatChart here. We're all ready, so we're going to follow what it says here. It says position SAS planet to the place you want to create a chart. So let's go to the SAS planet. And there's our good old Marina Hemingway. We're going to do it. So we zoom right in on it. And then we come back here. It says in the chart location field, enter a name. Marina Hemingway. And press create chart. Press create chart. So what it's doing now, SatChart will first off go to Google Earth and position it to the same spot as we are right now on SAS Planet. Checking out the charts we got. Oh, my dogs are waking up. Okay, there's Google Earth. It's going to create a place mark, and that's going to make Google Earth go exactly to the place we're at on SAS Planet. And then it's going to start bringing the overlays. It's going to overlay first the actual Google Earth map. Pardon me. The satellite map is going to be put on here first. We're just using the Google Earth overlay. We're not actually using the display from Google Earth. Okay, now it brings up the marine map, puts it right over top of the, and yet here it stopped. It was a little beep there. If you heard it or not, it's going to stop. It's going to stop with this kind of window here, and it beeped when it did that. And what you do here is move this here slider, and underneath the marine map you'll see the satellite map. And what you're trying to do here is making sure they line up. And they line up perfectly. If they didn't, you could take these here crosshairs and move the marine map until it matches the satellite map. But we don't have to do that. So after you're finished, move this slider all the way to the right. Make sure you do that, or it's not going to turn out right. And by the way, when I said it stopped and it beeped there, if we go back to SatChart here, this checkbox here, if you're positive that the satellite map and the marine map are going to line up, you can check that and it won't stop. But we did stop, so now SatChart is waiting for me to press the OK button. By the way, when I first did this, Windows had a function called Copilot, and it really messed things up. And I had to turn it off to make this work. So if you have Copilot turned on, it's not going to work. You may want to contact me. My email is in the help, and I'll tell you how to turn it off. Okay, it created the chart. We can take a look at our directory. There it is. We'll go start OpenCPN and see what it looks like. And as soon as we can, we'll do a scan here. Okay, we go to charts. Notice our directory where our chart is here. So we do a scan. And there it is. And there's our satellite chart. It has now taken the all the depth units off of the marine map and put them on this satellite map. So you can see all the depth units here. Okay, that's all we need to do as far as looking at it on OpenCPN. Okay, I showed you how to set up Google Earth. The important thing was to select the excuse me, English language. Set your chart set up. You had to select both the multi-map and the checkbox to put the depths on the satellite map. And we created the new satellite chat with the depth soundings, and we displayed it on OpenCPN. And again, thank you for watching.